our main topic for the day. As I've already mentioned, our safety star is Mr. MRusere, who is a certified wellness practitioner with more than 12 years of experience in workplace wellness programming and community mobilization. So, Mr. Rusere, you can go ahead.
Thank you very much. Morning, everyone. Like she said, the topic is psychosocial risks at the workplace. It's critical for us to know that psychosocial risks can lead to physical illness, psychological distress, and work injuries. That's why we have taken time to discuss this together. You might find out there's really nothing very new. What I'm going to do is just to give an overview. Because of the time limits, we cannot go into detail. And I'm happy the lone worker session has touched on many things. Ladies and gentlemen, what you don't deal with today will deal with you tomorrow. If you're not going to deal with psychosocial hazards, which then gives risks and finally harm, they will deal with us tomorrow. How are we going to navigate our session? We want to look at the objectives. We're going to define, give the business case, effects, aspects of psychosocial risk factors, how they manifest, the risk assessment tools which we can use as organization, how we can prevent, control, and manage. I think that's where we're going to spend much of our time. Because at the end of the day, it's about controlling, it's about preventing, it's managing. We want to develop an awareness of workplace psychosocial hazards and the associated risks. Then identify the effects of those hazards on individuals and then on organizations. But most importantly, we want to identify proactive strategic responses to management of psychosocial hazards and risks in the workplace. And I think the session we've just done, we have already brought very strategic and operational issues which we can use to manage that. When we talk of psychosocial, I think that psychosocial hazards, psychosocial factor, and psychosocial risks. Those four, we just need to describe them so that as we move on, we can be able to link. Psychosocial, obviously, we're talking of the state of the mind. With reference to issues she encounters at work, home, and community, but most importantly, how it affects his well-being. So it's the state of mind and how it affects the well-being. And you've got definitions of psychosocial hazards from ILO, but what I like is anything in the design or management of work that increases the risk of work-related stress. That's the definition I will go with. We've got factors. And these factors include interaction among job content, work organization management, other environmental conditions. But again, the most important thing there is the employee's competencies and need. Because if those are not met, that's source for psychosocial problems. Then the risk is the likelihood that there's going to be a hazardous influence on employees' health through their perceptions, experience arising from the exposure. Having done that, why are we talking about psychosocial issues, psychosocial hazards at the workplace? Because from a business perspective, It also reflects good practices in organizational management. Employer image and promotion of quality of working life and good work. That's key. The organization must be seen to be promoting the quality of working life, because most of us spend our waking times working. So the promotion of good quality is important. Obviously, when you've managed, when you've done away with psychosocial hazards, there are positive financial returns through improved productivity, and the organizations become sustainable. And again, why are we talking about this? Because we then promote individual and family health, well-being, and quality of life. As we are going to be discussing, I want you guys to have this thinking that, you know, we want to look at the person in total, the person, the worker, the person, the father, the person, the mother, the person, because the church deacon, elder, you are one. Whatever affects you out of work, most likely will have effects at the workplace. And whatever affects you at the workplace, most likely it will also affect your relations outside the work. So it's important that work-life balance becomes key. We're going to be talking about that. If we don't, we're doing it at our own peril, because there's going to be poor health. And when we talk of psychosocial, the key thing there is stress. Occupational stress and stress in general. There are increased healthcare costs and loss of working days due to illnesses. Working days, but again, loss of productivity, where someone is at work but is not there, presenteeism.